today. Dr. Rector, appreciate it very much. Dr. Thank you very much for hosting us. We're very excited about being here for this week. My name is Harry Bushong. I'm the president of Nano Risk Assessment, which is a holding company, and I'm also the president of one of our subsidiaries, NANO TOX. We provide toxicity. Can everyone hear me? Can you? Oh, slow. Not a problem.
Should we give the gentleman the mic?
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Is this better? Yes? Nano Risk Assessment is a holding company. We've assembled a group of complementary companies and forming joint ventures. We're looking for partners here in Turkey. We provide a single global source to support safe commercialization of consumer and industrial nanotechnology products for our clients. Our clients range from Fortune 500, aerospace and defense, to agricultural. Is this better? Yes. Our clients range from aerospace and defense to oil, gas, oil field services, to agricultural, to food handling services, to nanomedicine. Just real quick, there's two of my board members that I want to highlight. Dr. Malcolm Gillis, he is the former president of Rice University. He created the world's first nanoscale center in the world at Rice University. That's where Rick Smalley won the Nobel Prize for the buckyball. Matter of fact, there's a handout outside that he uses for his talks that really talks about the convergence of nano, bio, and informatics. I highly encourage everyone to take one of these with them and understand what nanotechnology really is at the nanoscale and the convergence. It's huge. Governor George Allen, he sponsored the 21st Nanocentury R&D Act in 2003 in the United States. That's the bill that gave all the universities in the United States the money to build their nano facilities. 15 years later, you're seeing all the commercialization finally starting to happen. So I highlighted these two gentlemen just to show the forethought we have in the leaders, both from a political standpoint and from an economic standpoint in our company. Give you a breakdown of our company. Nano Risk Assessment is the holding company. Nano TOX is where we started. The idea that nanomaterials that were engineered, man-made, were going to be regulated as novel materials, and therefore the toxicity would have to be studied. Our Institute of Occupational Medicine in the United States recently came out with a paper that said nanomaterials that are engineered are 10 to 1,000 times more toxic than their bulk material. Keep that in mind. Nano TOX Innovation is a subsidiary of ours in Dublin, Ireland. Nano TOX GmbH, we're in the process of forming that in Munster, Germany. That's the biggest market for us in Europe, is in Germany. Assured Nano is the accreditation scheme that Mujdat was talking about for the supply chain on the exchange. Bio Nano Consulting is a company that we've just acquired from Imperial College and London College of University. The two universities built world-class centers that had a problem. All this capability, academic and equipment, but no business to run it. There's no point to build this facility and just let professors play. They will just play. You need someone to drive industry and innovation. This company's generated £2.5 million a year for 3 years in a row, having a long-term master services agreement with the academics and the university of how to use the equipment and how to project manage their university.
You are going faster.
Nano PM, Mr. Bassett will talk about. That's one of our joint ventures. And Nano Data Search is an informatics company we have in partnership with the Swiss and Canadians. Our objective is to support safe commercialization of consumer and industrial products. This gives us more in-depth into our subsidiaries. NANO TOX Innovations in Dublin is developing innovative analytical methods associated with intellectual property around the corona protein patent. January of this year, Nature Nanotechnology had it on the front cover. We have exclusive worldwide license for this technology. One of the let's see. Assure now this accreditation program. This is very key for the exchange from point A to point B, supply chain management, and the risk associated with that. It's very important, particularly from an insurance standpoint. We actually formed NANO TOX in 2006. It was one of the first companies addressing the toxicity of engineered nanomaterials. NLPM, Mr. Bassett will be talking a little bit more about that. Bio-Nano, very excited about this acquisition. We see a lot of opportunity partnering with the right Turkish university or two or three. How do you really take these, if you're going to build a state-of-the-art nano facility, how do you really commercialize that for industry's benefit?
Nanoteknolojiyi sanayinin yararına nasıl geliştirebilirsiniz? Bu konuda çalışmalar yapılabilir.
This is really where we're getting into developing assays. And the assays we're developing in Ireland really go around 7 body organs. And the corona that develops around the nanomaterial when it gets into the body. Heart, lung, liver, blood-brain barrier, spleen, kidney, and large intestine. Those are the assays we're developing there. And the reason we chose those specific assays is we knew the regulators in Europe have identified those assays that they're going to require as part of your dossier when you commercialize a new material. This is what I was talking about and what we're working in Dublin, the nanoparticles and the protein. Bio-Nano Consulting in the UK. It was a joint venture owned by University College London and Imperial College London. This became so successful that it became a liability for the non-profit status of the two universities, so they wanted to sell it and we happened to be in the right place at the right time. Their biggest client of this joint venture is King Abdullah's University in Saudi Arabia. And Aramco Oilfield Services. That's their biggest client. All about water. Water is a major issue in this part of the world. See, we have a master services agreement with the facilities that the universities built and pre-negotiated the IP rights that can be generated with the professors at these universities. If you're going to build it, just make sure you can make the most out of it for industry. That's what we're doing in Germany. We're in the process of setting that up now. The reason we chose Germany was the business cluster wanted us there, the city and the federal aid government wanted us there. 3 years ago in Tokyo, which hosts the biggest nano conference in the world, called the Big Show, approached us from a federal level about setting up a subsidiary in Germany. The Germans are the biggest market for engineered nanomaterials. They're not necessarily concerned with Europe regulation, they're concerned with American regulation, and particularly American legal system. So they wanted Americans to sign off on the risk assessment and the dossiers when they export to the U.S. That's why they talked to us for 3 years about this. Did I just go the wrong way? The inks exchange.
Inks
I think
prosesi.
Mujdat's done a great job with this.
Müjdat Bey bunu çok
This
güzel
is all about
anlatmışlar.
providing capital for folks
Bu
for
insanların
scalability.
bu
If you have a
şirket
buyer or
için
someone who
bir
desires your
sermaye
materials
yaratma içindir.
without giving up equity. That's the big key. You don't have to give up equity to use the exchange.
Bu borsayı kullanmak için
They pay you based on someone else wanting your material.
onlara bir kaynak yaratmak amacıdır.
Mr. Bassett's going to follow me. He'll be able to follow up with this, all about scale from the lab to the proof of concept, through a pilot program, through the actual full-scale production facilities.
Tam tesislerin programları hakkında.
It gets into more of some of the decisions and the gates and when you release money on what milestones. You can't just give folks money. You gotta manage them.
Nelere göre para verebilirsiniz? Bunlar hakkında bilgiler var.
NANO TOX provides a full array of toxicology tests for engineered nanomaterials to determine the safety of engineered nanomaterials and their products. The tests provide information to assess
Tam kapsamlı bir toksikoloji testi sunmaktadır.
the risk of exposures,
Testler
and the results are used to set exposure limits, provide guidance on protective equipment, workplace design.
yoğunlaşır.
Outputs are used by safety officers and industrial hygienists.
Bu risk limitlerini düzeltmek için ve çeşitli yönetmelikler sağlamak için kullanılır.
Matter of fact, today, this whole week while I'm here in Ankara, our Vice President of Industrial Field Services is on a tour to France with the French Institute of Standards. They're hosting us, going throughout the country in 4 different cities, doing seminars like this.
Ülkede 4 farklı şehrin bu çeşit seminerler düzenleyeceğiz.
It's just a little more detail about the toxicology reports we do. And the toxicology really goes into human health, occupational health, environmental fate, and disposal. From an industrial standpoint, this is the most important. This is important for your employees, and of course, if you're getting into nanomedicine and any kind of drug delivery.
Nano tıptaki ilaçları da katabiliriz.
We're doing everything we're doing is GLP, and that is for the regulatory bodies and helping folks get new drugs, all their submissions with the U.S. and European regulators. We want to be able to do that here as well.
Yeni ilaç kullanım alanları ile ilgili araştırmalar yapılıyor.
Pharmaceuticals, clinical trial applicants, new drug submissions, food additives. This is where a lot of folks are hiding that they're using nanomaterials now without disclosing, because governments haven't kept up with industry. Industry's years ahead of regulatory bodies when it comes to the applications and who's using it. They're using it on coatings, films. They're using it in places you wouldn't actually think they're using it. Some more of the services we offer from an industrial hygiene standpoint. We really interact with the EPA, submitting your new manufacturing notice and significant new use. Anytime that you're going to go over state lines, just Department of Transportation, Europe, you have REACH, and individual state filings. Our characterization business, we have been doing it in-house, but recently we've come to terms to acquire a company that comes out of the semiconductor industry, have a great 14-year history doing advanced material science characterization. They basically about $5 million in revenue a year. So it says is there is business in nanotechnology. It's just not science. It's not pie in the sky. They're actually making money. This just wanted to give you our categorization banding, how we ban materials for transportation and workplace safety for the exposure of your employees or your students.
Çalışanlarınızın veya öğrencilerinizin emniyet için nasıl hangi malzemeleri yasakladığımızı görebilirsiniz burada.
This is where we are in Austin, Swansea, Wales, Dublin, Ireland, and this is where we plan on being in Worcester, Germany. And I appreciate everyone's time today, but this is the big thing that's driving regulation in the United States is going to drive eventually what's going to happen, particularly with Europeans, Turkish wanting to export into the U.S. We're seeking partners and clients. And like I said earlier, our clients go from aerospace, engineering, oilfield service, semiconductors, and specialty nanotechnology companies. Oh, there you go. Thank you again. I do appreciate everyone's time.